Hey, what's up? My name is Tackless, and today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on how to use a portal gun-like object, not to make portals, sadly I haven't made that tutorial yet, but how to pick objects up and move them around. But while I was testing this tutorial, I made a catastrophe. So, we're going to be showing you how to do it right and how not to do this. But hey, at least I can pick them up and throw them around. Pretty much what we're going to be doing is you're going to be able to pick up certain specified objects in a world. Pick them up, you can run around with them, no problem, and you can either drop them, like a civilized person, or you can pick them back up and fire them like a weapon, which is pretty awesome. Now, before I get into this, I'd like to remind you that we're not playing in the actual Portal playground. The physics of Project Spark are not as advanced as the physics of Portal. That being said, they're not bad. So, yeah, let's get into it. First, we have our gun. Now, my gun is a little bit complex because I wanted to make it look like the Portal gun. But pretty much, I will show you a simpler way to do exactly what I did. Should have a gun here. Here we go. I took the Astro gun. I believe this would work with the crossbow as well, if you're a free-to-play player. Open up its brain, get rid of the code. Then, make this sucker white, because everything at Aperture Labs is white and glossy. There we go, make it white. And if you have primitives, you can go through the time and effort it takes to make a portal gun looking thing. Or you can just grab a logic cube right here, shrink him down a ways, and put it ways out in front of the gun and line it up like that. Then go to attach. First click on the logic cube and then click on your gun. I think I got that right. Yep. You have to click on the logic cube first and then attach it to the gun. At this point, you'd go into your normal playable character, which I'm doing mine in first person. But I'm pretty sure you do it in third person. I haven't tested it in third person. But on the default template, it has once team equals 1, you add a new line, and you make a child line of code. To do so, you insert a new line of code, select the line of code, bump it to the right, and it becomes a child line of code. So this line of code will not run until this line of code is met. And this line of code will only run once throughout the whole game. So what we're going to be doing is do, let's see, equip, and then we're going to pick the gun out like that. Now, that's the simplest way to do it, but I'm going to be using my awesome portal gun because portal gun is awesome. There we go. It should just come up as Astro Blaster unless you rename it. So, you have your attached logic cube that sticks out in front of the gun a little ways. And what we're going to be doing is first you have to decide what objects in your world you want to have picked up. Now, I've grabbed these asteroid balls and this crate. The crate is one of my favorite things because you can actually move it around, and then jump on it and whatnot. So, you're going to go into one of these crates, and I know this is a variable, but bear with me, this is important. What you're going to do is going to do once global. I'm going to do an object set, not an object variable, an object set. And we're going to name this object set variable pick, if I can spell right, pick up able objects. And then, because we want this thing to be added to the group, we're going to have it increment up by me. There we go. You need to copy and paste this line of code to every object in your world that you want to be able to have picked up. Now, it's also important to go into each of these object settings, go to Properties, Physics, and turn Collidable to On. Not collidable. Physics type to tumbling. It should also be collidable, usually. But a physics type to tumbling. If it's fixed, when you let go of the object, it'll remain floating. If it's a character, it'll want to stay upright and it won't tumble. And tumbling, well, it'll just tumble around in your environment. So you want all of these objects to be tumbling. Next, let's go into our character. Now, I have, let me delete the code. There is a big chunk of code in the default template that is reserved for interacting, and I got rid of it because interacting is something we can use later. But what we're going to do is, once again, I know this is a beginner tutorial, and there's variables in it, but this really isn't a hard tutorial. Just bear with me here. What we're going to do is when you do an object variable called pickup. When pickup is equal to nothing. Gonna make some more child lines of code here. Let's see. Yeah, a couple lines of code. When detect objects in front. Here we go. Objects in front. Global. Gonna go to object set. Pick upable objects. And nearest object. Then we need to take this line of code and make it a child line of code here, so that this line of code won't run until this line of code is met, and this line of code won't run until this line of code is met. It's a little complicated, but I hope you can track with me. I know I'm pushing my easy tutorial a little bit, but bear with me. So when B pressed, we're going to copy pick up, the object variable, paste it, pick up equals it. There we go. Simple as that. Then let's copy and paste pickup again, and when pickup, make more child lines of code, and when right trigger pressed, let's just do right trigger. When right trigger, shoot the pickup object at speed. Now you'll have to play with this depending on how fast you want your projectile to launch, but 20 seems to work pretty well to make something like a cube bounce away from you a few feet, but something like a ball shoot across the room. It's worth mentioning that the damage that this projectile will do is not physics-based, so the faster you shoot it, the more damage you won't do. That's not how Project Spark works, unfortunately. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. This is still a pretty good physics setup. Now we need to do another child line of code. And started to the pickup variable equals nothing. Now let's copy and paste this whole line of code like that. And this time, when left trigger, and we're just going to remove shoot. There we go. That way, right trigger will shoot it, left trigger will just drop it. Now, for good measure, we're going to add a couple of cosmetics in here. When it detects an object, we're going to have it highlight it. Let's have it highlight it blue. Blue seems a good color. And we're also going to copy and paste the highlight line down here for good measure. But rather than highlight it, we're going to have it highlight picked up object. So while you have the object picked up, it's kind of glowy blue. So let's give it a try. Alright, here we go. See, the nearest object glows blue. And if I move over here, this becomes the nearest object and it glows blue. I've assigned that code to all these balls. And I've also assigned it to this person. But as you saw at the beginning, people don't work very well. So I'm going to pick up this ball. Oh, haha, I forgot one very important step. When pick up, we need to do pick up position equals, go to in-world picker, and go to your guns. So if you're using a simple gun, you'd pick the logic cube connected to it, but I'm using the portal gun, so we're going to use the logic cube connected to it. Equals logic cube position. There we go. Sorry about that. Get ahead of myself sometimes and forget the most important bits of the tutorial. Alright, so pick it up, and as you can see, it is wonderfully hanging off the end of my gun. Now, it's not quite as pretty or as steady as the Portal series objects that you pick up, but it works. And to make it that steady would be more painstaking than I'd want to work for. So if I use right trigger, the ball rolls away from me, And it's pretty cool looking. If I pick up a ball and do left trigger, it just drops. So, let's say that you have to get to a high platform that you can't jump to. You can pick up this cube, drop it, and hop on it, and then get on this tree. And yep, if you're lucky, you can reach back to it, pick it back up, and take your companion cube with you. Or, you know, shoot it at your friends. Whatever works. So, yeah, that's pretty much the tutorial. There's one last thing that I want to try that I haven't tried, and there's no guarantee it'll work. But I've been doing this whole tutorial in first person, because that's how Portal is. Let's try it in third person. So instead of first person camera, we're going to do a follow camera. And let's just see how it looks now. You know, a third person Portal would actually be pretty cool. So I've got my awesome Portal gun, which looks even better now. Maybe. Probably not. If you guys can make a better Portal gun, go for it. So I'm going to grab this sphere. You know what? That looks just fine. I did a good job with that. At least, I'm going to tell myself I did. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope this tutorial was helpful. It's worth noting, do you see this character model? This wonderful glowing blue character model? She is the nomadic character, and she is the character model that you will get if you win my giveaway. Also a fancy sword, which she doesn't have equipped right now. But, yeah, she's a really cool looking character. She's got cool features, an awesome helmet. So, don't forget to sign up for that. We're right at the very end of our second week giveaway at this point. So, if you don't make it for the second week, keep trying. You'll probably win third, fourth, fifth week, somewhere in there. So, don't forget to sign up for that. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys later.